Down at the bottom of this hill is Corinth, not very different from a lot of other towns, you know. The folks that live here, well, we're people like yourselves. This statue, facing the square, is General Melville Quincy, 1845 to 1910. The Quincy's were our most important family once, until, like a lot of others, they lost their money in the Depression. They lived on this street, Letty, Hester, and their brother, Harry. They were the last of the Quincy's. This is the Warren Mill. Most of the town works here. Now, don't let it frighten you, even if it does look like a prison. Harry Quincy worked here from 9 to 5, day in, day out.
Good morning.
Hello, sir.
Want to see something?
Nope.
It's a genuine blue-white fifth of a carat. I'm engaged to Biff Wagner.
That's basically who I foresaw doing
Why,
it.
he's nearly 20.
I've said this before. You know, the Generation Cuck or whatever they're called. I'm talking about your generation here.
Don't hurry. I hear Mr. Warren got in this morning. Brought out his New York fashion expert to go through the plan. Now maybe we'll have puppy dogs and palm tree patterns and snazzy colors.
What does that mean?
That means stuff with a zing in it, Uncle Harry.
Oh. Who said that?
I keep forgetting.
In a way, there's something in egalitarian about that. I frequently make no distinction between people.
Why, you're not old at all, Uncle Harry. I mean Harry.
I see.
You won't forget to congratulate...
No, at what point do we just cull
Okay.
those people who sing "Oh Jeremy Corbyn"?
Here, Deborah, is where we design our new patterns. There's really not much of a trick to it. We just sort of repeat our old patterns with a few little changes here and there. We turned out 10 million yards of this one last year.
Oh, I hope I didn't make you spoil your rosebud.
That crew, at least, has been decimated.
I'm Deborah Brown of the New York office.
How are you this week?
Well, this is Harry. He sort of keeps track of our patterns here.
We have to make a living here, fella. So we're going to charge you 4 or 5K extra.
I didn't see the general.
The Indian restaurant owner from Seinfeld.
Well, shall we take a look at the dyeing vats? Oh, and I want to show you the new loading shed, too.
Oh.
We bring the freight cars right into the plant now.
Wait a minute, John. I'd like to ask Mr. Quincy how he gets the inspiration for these patterns.
Well, I'm sitting here with a Pepsi Max, and the chap goes to order a drink, and he says, "Oh, I'll have a Pepsi Max, please." And the woman next to him says, "Oh, what about the sugar?" And then an Indian man, or a genie or something, comes from underneath the table and then says, "No sugar."
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Quincy. And how's Letty?
I mean, she was awful.
Oh, well, that's good. And Hester?
I would say there's quite a lot of good meme potential.
Goodbye.
I'd hate to pay that Letty's doctor's bill.
There's always something or other the matter with her. You're late, Harry.
You know that doing certain things carries certain risks.
It's that girl, acting as if it were her own kitchen. I've been fighting with her all afternoon trying to get my pie into my own stove.
But now, do you think she's being provocative there?
How would she be? Playing Robinson Crusoe on her chaise longue as usual? As if it was a desert island?
I don't like that, given its internal contradictions.
4 years ago. Not a peep out of her heart since. If it was her heart.
Cheers, mate. I am going to have a look.
Please do, darling Harry.
What I'm really looking for is Britisher.
Plants need the heat.
Don't say things like, "Oh, you're hot," or boiling them.
There's
nothing the matter with me.
I don't know, the boiling. I mean, he describes some pretty awful people.
It's nothing, really. Just my foolish heart.
People boiling them,
Did you
cannibalism.
have a nice day?
You can just picture the sorts of scenes, breeding horses for money.
Poor Harry. I wish you didn't have to work in that dreadful old factory. This time of year, we used to go to Maine. Do you remember?
If you were a horse breeder, kill the deformed horse.
Yes, of course.
But you'd make sure it was
Yes, I
looked
must get
after.
up.
My fella Hugo wants to take me to a picture show. I'll wash if someone dries.
Why can't I get sponsored?
Being a milkman, he hates water.
Who's going to sponsor me?
The toast like leather, Nona.
They had a fine picture last week.
I hate those pictures about Indians.
Joe, he could see 2 or 3 of those a day.
It's about old Joe, your dear dead husband, ever did. That and go to the club for ale.
Dr. Adams made Joe drink ale. There's vitamins in ale. Where's my gooseberry pie?
Gooseberries aren't good for Mr. Harry. Much too much acid.
Sponsor me,
Do
please.
you remember last year?
Harry knows what's best for himself.
I've been looking forward to my pie all day. Standing on my feet all afternoon baking. Never any thanks from anyone.
It's like turning off a radio when Hester stops talking.
It's not that I don't want Mr. Harry to have gooseberry pie, even if it isn't good for him. But Miss Hester's always sneaking into the kitchen and cooking, and I don't like it.
Well, I mean, she was a bit political or something.
Here you are, Harry. It's fine, juicy berries.
Soggy, you mean?
No sugar!
Can't help it, Mr. Harry. You shouldn't eat soggy pie and all that acid.
You're just doing this to turn my brother against me. You're all against
Oh,
me.
Hester, don't dramatize so.
You, what kind of a sister are you? Not even lifting a finger to defend me from the servant.
You do very well for yourself. And besides, if Nona left, we'd be in a fix. I'm only trying to keep some standard of comfort for Harry in his own house.
Aren't you the thoughtful sister? No one else but you must buy his clothes and do his room and keep him comfortable.
I'm only doing my duty to my brother.
And if you can't, you go into that green dark den of yours until Harry comes home and makes you come out. You're just a spoiled, selfish woman.
Maybe, dear, you'd be better off living somewhere else. You'll only excite yourself into a nervous breakdown here.
Nobody cares for me. All the time I put in planning the meals and doing the housework, while you just sit among those horrible plants and read poetry.
Take it to the next level. Deny any and all attention. It will break the female spirit.
Hello? Who? Mrs. Brooke. Oh, yes, I'll tell her. Mrs. Brooke says she can make it for bridge after all. She found a sitter for the baby.
Oh, dear. And I've already told Dr. Adams not to come.
I could play if you need a fourth.
I wonder about that. Basically, you have to have a coalition of them and Muslims.
Oh. Are you working tonight?
Should that be banned?
Oh.
There's nothing wrong in Harry going out.
Nobody suggested there was.
I'll just put it this way. I've known some
Someone?
good-looking women in my time.
Girl?
A Miss Brown would be a girl, Hester. That'll be nice for you, Harry. Where do you intend to take this Miss Brown?
The public square. It has to be there for everyone.
Well, don't forget the house George Washington slept in on Elm Street. Visitors always enjoy that.
I have never once met a woman who really enjoys being wolf whistled.
Come on, Nellie, hit that ball!
Oh, typical debauchery from British pop chart.
Deborah! Oh, Deborah! Come on down here! I wish we could have a soda or something, Deborah. But you know, Joan has to get to bed early so she can go to school in the morning.
It was nice of you to bring me home, John. I love softball anyhow.
Wonderful team, the Warren Tigers. They played like clockwork tonight, didn't they?
I want to play with them when I grow up.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Wait a minute. Harry's stuck.
Oh, I forgot you were there, Harry.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Good night.
Good night.
Just fuck off. What a little wanker. It's basically been.
It was nice of you to take me, Harry.
It was kind of good fun. I enjoyed it. I don't like, democracy.
What time is it?
60s Cultural Revolution.
And you call that late? Why, New York life is just beginning. The barman at 21 is opening his second bottle of Kimmel. The dance band at the Rainbow Room is unpacking its instruments. And the last taxi driver has just avoided picking you up. And you say it's late.
There are, how can I say, a kind of ground zero of lies. Okay?
Not even the George Washington house you mentioned?
The three big ones are World War II, civil rights, and women.
I don't feel like sleeping just yet. Didn't notice you had a sky here.
Oh, what could this possibly be?
Oh, there's no sky in New York. The bright lights killed it off. I haven't seen a big fat star in 10 years.
What else have we got here? Militant fedora hat wearing atheism. Broad areas.
Venus. It's like meeting an old friend. My father used to show me Venus when I was a little girl.
The thing is, I started reading about this. It's not that easy.
Dad used to say they were polished every night before being hung. I wanted to do that someday.
It's very common, isn't it?
Some of my best childhood friends wanted to be star polishers.
What do you mean? What? She said it reminded her of shooting stars.
Which one is Saturn?
Can't bloody find it now.
But where are the rings?
I don't know if you noticed. By my count, about 4 of them are banned.
Harry, you're beginning to sound indecent.
Did you ever see the Tom Cruise version of War of the Worlds? There's this alien invasion from an alien race with minds immeasurably superior to ours.
Oh, you have a telescope?
And I also have I also had an ad campaign for Pepsi Max.
Are the rings clear tonight, do you think?
So do you remember how in Shooting Stars they used to call like the dove from above with the cooing? I thought maybe we could have a go at calling the cow.
We could go try, couldn't we?
You just make some random noises. And I think we'll do that.